University. None of this is in English.
So we are talking about the movie Tonight She Comes. This one directed and written by Matt Stewart. Now the story here focuses on two sets of pairs of people as both of them are going to this kind of cabin in the woods. Yes, it's a cabin in the woods style story. And the action hits off pretty quick. And we find out once both of these kind of sets of people, basically two guys and two girls who go to this kind of cabin in the woods for very different reasons. They discover that there's this family doing kind of some weird demonic ritual there, and there's also this kind of naked girl that is connected to one of their sets of people in the woods, and there might not be something quite right with her. So that's pretty much all I'll say about the plot here. Let's talk about what worked and what doesn't work with Tonight She Comes. First of all, any negatives. I will say this movie starts off in a quite a bizarre fashion, and you get very little setup. So I did find it a little bit confusing about people's motivations and kind of really who they were and what was even going on in places, first of all. As the kind of film progresses, little kind of nuggets are dropped throughout the film, so you can kind of pick it up. But initially, I didn't really know what was going on. And the story is pretty fast-paced. But I do feel sometimes it kind of is a little bit maybe self-indulgent and doesn't kind of really give the audience time to breathe and kind of process about what's going on. And sometimes it may go a little bit OTT. Also, this is a particularly gory film, and I feel it may be somewhat a little bit too gory for certain people. And when it's all said and done, when you kind of look at this film as a kind of a general piece, you'll think, yeah, you was kind of a little bit confused what was going on, but ultimately not a lot happened in a kind of a weird way. You think, what was the actual point of the film? So then the negatives. Positives for me, I've got to say, I kind of like the acting here. Jenna McDonald, who plays one of the family members, who were introduced to quite late in the game, I will say, but she's a really good actress and plays kind of cute but crazy at the same time. And her brother Philip, played by Brock Russell, looks like a young Robert Downey Jr. It was really weird because he's a bit beefier, but he kind of looks so much like a young Robert Downey Jr. It's quite fun. But the characters, their interactions and stuff, I all thought were pretty good, to be honest with you, and kind of came across as fairly good acting here. Now back onto the gore. If you are a gore hound, on the other hand, there's loads of gore here, and you know it's kind of tongue in cheek. It is done in this sort of style of, I would say, the Evil Dead movies, the kind of Peter Jackson stuff. So, but nonetheless, it's kind of, it's kind of fun. There's kind of lots of goo and kind of guts and being smeared over windows and stuff like that. And I feel the story kind of unwraps and kind of it does keep you interested in these characters, because you do, even though I feel the beginning is quite weak, you do kind of get to know more about these sort of characters as time goes on, and it's not just kind of exposition bombs either. You just kind of naturally learn just little bits about these characters and kind of what they're like. And I feel overall, even though there's not really a hell of a lot to this film, you are invested in the characters as you find out towards the end of the movie. But even so, I was still a little bit confused about what the end game was on certain things, and what exactly the point of certain plot points were. But nonetheless, it's still quite a fun ride. I would maybe check it out. I'd give it a 6 out of 10, but don't expect much semblance of a coherent plot. I do feel it is somewhat chucked together. Anyway, 6 out of 10 for me. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Leave me a comment, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.